Did you know a millionaire footballer once stabbed his own cousin and was secretly running a cocaine empire on the side? Yeah, this one gets wild. This guy, let's call him Quincy, was 28 years old, living in Amsterdam, and playing professional football for Ajax. Big club, big money, we're talking around $3 million a year. But for Quincy, that wasn't enough. See, while fans saw a football star, behind the scenes, Quincy was building something much darker. He got involved in drug trafficking, importing cocaine from Brazil straight into the Netherlands. And not just funding it, he was coordinating shipments himself. Now, think about that for a second. Training, matches, media, and somehow managing a full-on drug operation? That's crazy. In 2020, Quincy had a massive deal lined up. 2 shipments of cocaine hidden inside containers of salt. Total value? Around $82 million. This wasn't small time anymore. So Quincy messages his guys, telling them exactly when to pick up the shipment. What he doesn't know, police are already inside his operation. Dutch authorities had cracked the communication app he was using. They were reading everything, every message, every plan. They even tipped off Belgian police, since the shipment was coming through Antwerp. And then, boom, one of the shipments gets intercepted. Now at this point, you'd think they'd arrest Quincy immediately, right? Nope. Instead, they sit back and watch. They wiretap his phone, track his moves, build a bigger case, not just against him, but everyone involved. So Quincy keeps living his double life. Football star by day, trafficker by night. Until everything starts to fall apart. Later that same year, Quincy is at a family gathering. Normal day until he hears that his cousin stole jewelry from his aunt. And Quincy snaps. Argument turns heated, voices rise. And then suddenly, bam! He pulls out a knife and stabs his cousin in the knee. Not fatal, but serious enough. Police get involved. Quincy gets arrested. For a moment, it looks like this is the end. But after a few days, he's released, waiting for trial. And that's when Quincy makes a decision that changes everything. He runs all the way to Russia. There, he signs for Spartak Moscow and starts a whole new life. And here's the crazy part. Russia doesn't extradite to the Netherlands. So Quincy is basically untouchable. Or at least, that's what he thinks. Because by 2023, the courts in the Netherlands move on without him. He's found guilty of the stabbing, 18 months in prison. Then the drug case hits. 6 more years. Interpol gets involved. Now there's an international alert on his name. Meaning the moment he steps into the wrong country, it's over. So, what does Quincy do? Does he lay low? Of course not. He's partying, posting online, flexing money, even making music, rapping about crime, sometimes even about drug trafficking. At this point, he feels invincible. And that's always when things go wrong. In 2024, his team travels to Dubai for training camp. Now this is risky, because the UAE does cooperate with the Netherlands. But Quincy goes anyway. Everything is fine until one small mistake changes everything. He gets into a car accident. Not serious, but instead of stopping, he drives off. Bad move. Police identify him, track him quietly, and right at the airport. Boom. He's arrested. They release him later, but he's banned from leaving Dubai. Now, he's stuck. His team leaves without him, and eventually, they terminate his contract. Career hanging by a thread. But somehow, Quincy keeps going. He signs with a Dubai club, keeps playing, keeps posting, keeps acting like nothing can touch him. And for a moment, it actually looks like he might get away with everything. Until the Netherlands makes a formal extradition request. And this time, there's no escape. Quincy is arrested again, extradited, and finally sent back, where he's now serving over 7 years in prison. From millionaire footballer, to international fugitive, to prison inmate. all because he thought he could live 2 lives and never get caught. Shout out to the Netherlands police and follow for more.